Like many people, I've spent the last few weeks indoors helping to protect myself and others from the COVID-19 pandemic. And while I've accepted these temporary restrictions on my freedom of movement, I consider myself lucky compared to people like Soheil Arabi, who has spent the last 7 years in prison, much of that time being tortured, much of that time having his family harassed, simply for expressing his views on religion on Facebook. Now, everybody is perfectly entitled to express their views about religion, including supportive views and including critical views. And nobody should be imprisoned for expressing those views. It comes under the fundamental human right of freedom of thought, conscience, religion and belief, combined with the fundamental human right of freedom of expression. And a lot of religious people, for some reason, seem to believe that these rights apply only to religious beliefs. They don't. They apply just as equally and just as strongly to non-religious philosophical convictions and to the right to criticise religion and indeed the right to criticise atheism. Just last year, Atheist Ireland succeeded in a 10-year campaign to remove the Irish law against blasphemy, which was a medieval law in a country that has a history of being a Catholic state that we're gradually moving away from. But while that law was in place, the Islamic states at the United Nations were pointing to Ireland and saying, look, there's a Western democracy with a blasphemy law. Why are you telling us to remove our blasphemy laws when you have your own blasphemy laws? Indeed, the Islamic states at the United Nations, led by Pakistan, were trying to get the wording of the Irish blasphemy law introduced internationally as what should be used to campaign against what they describe as defamation of Islam. But now that's gone. Now, instead of them being able to point to Ireland and say, look, there's an example of a Western state with a blasphemy law, we can point back at them and say, we have removed our blasphemy law. We have joined the states that recognise the fundamental freedom of expression and the fundamental freedom of religion, belief and conscience as rights that we all have. And we will stand alongside Mariam Namazi and the Council of Ex-Muslims and the campaign that she is organising with others to protect people like Soheil Arabi, to protect people in any of these theocratic dictatorships who are imprisoned or beaten or executed for simply holding and expressing a belief that is contrary to the majority religious belief in that country. So please support this campaign. Please sign the petition. Please contact the Iranian embassy or whatever mechanisms that you have to influence people who have power in Iran and in other theocratic dictatorships. Please get involved with the campaigns that are continuing to go on around the world for Soheil Arabi, but also for other people in these theocracies who can't even express their fundamental beliefs without fear of repression. Atheist Ireland will continue in those campaigns, and we hope that you will too.